Hello everyone, I'm Lakisha Spletzer, and I'd like to welcome you to Kishaz Talks. Well, it's been a very crazy November, but I have to say it was a blast. Now, if you didn't catch my last vlog, then you might be a little confused about today's subject. So we're going to do a quick refresh. I participated in an event called NaNo, or NaNoWriMo, depending upon who's pronouncing it. And it's a friendly contest where you're trying to get 50,000 words in 30 days during the month of November. It is an annual event and it's been going on for quite a while. Millions participate, not just in the United States, but around the world. They have everything from kickoff parties to write-ins to forums, discussions, and, well, quite frankly, everything in between. But regardless of how they get together, it's a fun time. It's a great time. Why? Because we're doing what we do best, and that's writing. My own NaNo journey started back in 2006. I didn't get to participate that year because I was busy welcoming the arrival of my second child, so nothing got done in 2006. 2007 was still sorting through some issues in my personal life, so I didn't fully participate like I wanted. 2008 rolled around and my life had changed. I was in a better place mentally and I wanted to give it a shot. I fell short of my goal, but that was alright because the next year in 2009 I hit that goal. Now, granted, I didn't get the cool badges and certificate because, well, I'm a bit of a procrastinator. Yeah, I didn't upload my stuff in time, so it ended up uploading after the 11:59 deadline. So even though I did the 50,000, I didn't get the cool little badge. So I was a little disappointed. 2010 turned out to not be such a good year for me in NaNo. I only managed to get 5,000 words before I kind of had to throw in the towel. But all that leads up to this year, 2011. My 2011 has been an up and down year for me as far as my personal life goes and my writing. I spent the early part of this year finishing off 2 novels, Moonbeams and Weird Love Midnight Revelations, only to kind of fall into a depressive state and didn't do much writing. Really apathetic, couldn't get motivated. And I kept looking at the calendar, watching the days dwindling by, and realizing that November was almost on top of me. So I decided what better way to kind of get my mojo and motivation back than to participate in NaNo. So I looked at my list of unfinished projects and great ideas and decided to pick a science fiction one. Give me a change of pace. I'd been doing nothing but fantasy over the last few times, so let's shake it up a bit, I thought. And that is how I came to work on my NaNo project for 2011, titled The Rising. It is book 1 of a quartet. Wow, tongue-tied, but it is book number 1 in a quartet. And it deals with, for me, another first, a male protagonist. If you've read any of my works or are a little bit familiar with the way I write, I tend to do a lot of female leads. So this is the first time I've done a story where the main lead was a guy. And not just a guy, but a teenager. So the story was already going to be from an interesting perspective for me. And I welcome the challenge. It kept me interested. It made me have to think, how would a guy act? Because the way I would react isn't the way a man would react. A couple of my guy friends got a bunch of phone calls, thank you guys, during November, asking some crazy questions, at least I'm sure in their minds. But they were kind enough to give me answers, so I do appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. The story is about a young man by the name of Shinjiro Wayland, who is having a very interesting encounter of the alien kind. And we'll kind of just leave it at that. But needless to say, sometimes it is better to keep your hands firmly to yourself, because you never know what trouble it might lead you to. I had planned on during Nano doing a vlog every week to kind of chronicle my journey. Well, that ended up not happening because once I kind of got into the swing of writing, I forgot about the whole vlog part. So I thought I would do at least a post-Nano, because I did a pre-Nano. So this is my post-Nano report. But I thought it'd be cool to kind of let everyone know how I fared. I did win this year. I got the cool little badges and certificate. And the final word count on November 30th at 11:59 p.m. for my manuscript was 50,070. So I did pretty good, and I'm very proud of myself. Now, what helped me reach my goal? One word. Angela. Actually, 2 words. Angela Markham. I have to give her props, because without Angela agreeing to be my Nano buddy and waving the Nano stick, and sometimes applying it very liberally, I don't think I would have hit that 50,000, because I would have done like I always do. It's a bad habit, but I would have procrastinated. So Angela, I know you're watching this. Thank you. I really do appreciate it, and I can't say it enough. And well, if you're game, let's give it another go in 2012, shall we? But regardless of my Nano experience, I met and made a lot of friends this year as well. I got to attend my first write-in. Now, write-ins are done to allow authors and Nano participants a chance to get together and work on their Nano projects. And the length of time, you know, depends upon who organizes it. The one that they did here in Citrus County, I think went 2.5 hours. No, actually I think it was more than that. I think it was 3 hours. I'm bad, sorry. It went for 3 hours, but it was great because in the beginning they had a kind of like a Q&A session from local authors that were published. And you got to ask questions about the publishing industry, about writing, you know, whatever you wanted, you got to ask. Then after that Q&A, they sat down and they started writing. I was running a little late, so I didn't get to participate for the full 3 hours, but I was there for an hour and I got quite a bit accomplished. But it was great. You got to sit and be surrounded by people that love your art as much as you do, that are invested in the same thing as you. And it was really nice to kind of get into that atmosphere and feel that welcome, feel that friendship, feel that, you know, that togetherness. And it was great. I mean, I wouldn't trade it for anything, and I definitely am looking forward to doing it again next year. I think it's ironic that I missed the kickoff party, which I usually always get to do, and made the write-in, whereas normally it's vice versa. Kickoff parties are fun because the way we do it here, and once again, it varies. This isn't a set formula, okay? So if they do it differently in your area, awesome. But what they do here for the kickoff parties is they have, once again, local authors that are published come in and they talk about things like your setting, your characters, your genre, you know, kind of basic things you need to think about before you even get started writing your novel. Kickoff parties usually done for us in October, and it's about 2 to 3 weeks before Nano, so that people have time to come in, get the information, get to sit and let it digest for a little bit, and then when Nano rolls around, hopefully they're all ready and eager to go. There's a lot to be done during Nano. There's a lot to learn. They have forums on the NaNoWriMo website. They have, oh my gosh, they have the forums, you have your regions, you can do Nano buddies, you can email people. They do have a lot on the website to help you. They have the counters that count your word count for you, and they're really cool to put on your blog if you have one, or your website, to kind of let people know your progress. So it's a fun event. It doesn't have to be stressful. At least I don't find it stressful. I get frustrated sometimes when I didn't meet my goal. You know, like I set for myself 2,000 words, and if I only did 500, you know, I was very not happy with myself. And there were a couple nights that were like that. I even had some nights where I didn't write at all because, quite frankly, I was exhausted and I have kids and I just totally fell asleep. But no matter what, I think this year what I took away from NaNo was perseverance. I persevered through those 30 days. Even though I had some days where I was way behind on the word count of what I wanted to do for that day, even though there were some days I just was so tired I couldn't write, it was the days when I was on fire, the days when the story just grabbed me up and held me in this beautiful hug and just poured creativity into my head and out through my fingertips. I wouldn't trade those days for anything. Those were the days that I felt alive, you know, and I had Angela the whole time on Yahoo Messenger. Come on, Keisha, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. She shared snippets of her writing as she was doing NaNo herself. I shared some of mine. It was great. It was fun. And this was probably the most relaxed I have been during NaNo since I first started participating fully in 2008. It was a whole different vibe for me this year. And I enjoyed it a lot. So I don't know about you guys, but if you participated in NaNo, I hope your NaNo was great. If you didn't participate but you were thinking about it and you're still not sure, you got a whole year. Hopefully we'll see you on November 1st, 2012, joining the ranks with us. I want to thank everyone that helped me during NaNo, the support, the encouragement, especially some of the readers that know me very well and were, you know, pushing me through. Thank you. For my friends that were constantly there checking up on me, wanting to know my word count. Thank you. For Sunny, who listened to me prattle on endlessly for hours during the daytime about my story, I thank you. I thank all of you, because this writer doesn't write in a vacuum. I have to have you guys to help me. So, thanks. And I guess on that note, we're going to call it a night, because I'm looking at the clock and I'm thinking it's bedtime. Until next time, everyone, I'm Lakisha Spletzer, and thank you for coming to Kisha's Talks.